Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? There, I think you guys are in now. Hello, hello. How are you, Jen?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited for this today. I love your background. That is so cute.
That's my Canva
I
background.
love how you did that. It's genius. I love the sign.
Thank you.
I want to introduce you really quick. It looks like she's still getting connected, but to Nicole. She's going to be talking with us today.
Okay, cool.
But I don't okay, so what did Justin tell you exactly about this?
Like not really much. Let me see.
So basically it's a very informal format. We're just like we usually keep it to around like 30 minutes, give or take, just depending on how it goes.
Okay.
And we kind of just let you start talking, and then we usually have a lot of questions and different thoughts, and then we'll also watch the comments on Facebook, and if there's anything there, we'll kind of let you know.
Okay, cool.
And um just want to, give them, I can't even remember. Oh yeah, we came up with a title, huh? I liked our title. I want to make sure we put that when we put the live in. Um,
And the majority of the people that you work with are in what industry?
it's for like 80% home services. That we do have some that we do also have like accountants, realtors, like others too. But within home services, really it's everything, anything from exterior cleaning to your HVAC to your roofers. It's a little bit of everything. So
Okay.
it's a
What is
good.
the first
Okay.
thing that you said? Hi. You said
Okay.
something cleaners.
Oh, exterior cleaners. So like window
Exterior. Okay,
cleaners and
got it.
pressure washers. So this
Okay.
is Nicole. She's our director of culture. Nicole, are those new glasses?
Hi.
And Nicole, this is Jen. Okay, Jen, I know you're the TikTok whiz, but you do all social media, right?
Yeah, yep. Our we focus on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and then we also use YouTube and LinkedIn to just like
Okay.
put the content out there more. But the main platforms that we're creating for are Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, it's a little bit of all the industries. We even do like right now, holiday lights. That's where we're answering a lot of friends.
Yeah, that
Like,
makes
so
sense.
but yeah, we usually just try to, what we'll do is we'll just welcome everyone, then we'll welcome you, we'll let you introduce yourself a little bit, just like who you are, what you do, and how you got into this, and then just talk about what I was just going to pull up what the title is. Yeah, building your brand's customer engagement and scaling strategies and scaling with Jen. I think just, I mean, I know I loved your presentation when we were at the Service Summit, because I feel like so many people don't know how to use all social media, but especially TikTok for
Yeah, for
business.
sure.
So I'm really glad we're having this conversation.
Me
So we'll
too.
definitely have the live, but then we keep it evergreen. So we put it in our YouTube, then we send it out to all our new clients, have access through our app to all
Oh,
the
cool.
master classes. So even if we don't get like tons of viewage live, then there's usually a lot of that comes down the road as well. So
Fun. I
uh,
want to share it whenever I'm like on your Facebook page. So whenever it goes live, I want to share it.
okay, yeah,
But I
for
know
sure.
it's probably going to be a little bit of problematic.
Oh no, yeah, that's actually a great idea.
Okay.
We can just talk for a minute and while you're doing that, and okay, let's get it all set up so we can go.
I've been having really bad Wi-Fi issues today, even when I was in our meeting earlier, and I keep getting cut out and disconnected. So
Hopefully it will be
Brent was
good.
looking into it, but
Yeah. Okay, that's good to
because
know.
it's still choppy when you guys are talking, but I know it's my computer.
Okay. It doesn't sound very choppy when you're talking back, so that's good. Okay, let me building your brand, customer engagement, and scaling strategies. Where are you actually based out of, Jen? Where do you live?
I'm in Texas. I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, fun. I love Texas.
Me too. It's always like I feel like everything's always on Eastern time. So thinking about mountain time, I'm like all confused.
Yeah, we're like way out
Looking
there.
at
At
my
least we're not the
calendar, I'm
Pacific.
like, oh wait,
Yeah.
12. What two, not 12.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you guys ready? We will go live.
Ready.
Nicole, do you want to introduce or do you want me to introduce today?
I hope that my connection is strong. Let me find oh, on my calendar. Okay. It's Jen McKee, right? Am I saying that right?
Yes, McKee. Yep.
And Key Hart Marketing.
Key Hart Marketing. Yes.
Okay. See, I think I'm getting like a 5-second delay whenever anyone answers me. It's like it's a little after I say it. But yeah, I'm totally fine with doing it also.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, let's go then. And it's just, Jen, it's just on our main Jill's office Facebook page. So if you're there, you should.
Yeah, I think I'm there. I've been tagging you guys.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're live.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Face Live. Jill's office here at Freedom Freaks, and we have an awesome guest here today. We have Jen McKee from Key Hart Marketing, and we are some really awesome tips and just information on social media marketing in general, and especially when it comes to TikTok, I hear, because TikTok for brand, I actually think a lot of business owners don't. I don't think that they often and TikTok and utilize it to the best of its capabilities. And so I'm really excited to have an expert. I'm hoping my internet connection is going good. So just wave or holler if anything's going on. But this is going to be some information and you guys are going to love it. So put things in the comments if you have questions and we'll relay them back and forth. But Michelle and I are here again and let's take it away.
Yeah. So Jen, introduce us a little bit. How did you get into this amazing world of social media?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be talking with you guys. I was able to meet Jill's office in Utah this summer. So, and I just thought the concept was really cool and super helpful for the trades. But I got into social media as for clients in 2017 and then started my business in 2018. At that time, my focus was really putting them on Instagram. Of course, Facebook has always been a priority, but Instagram was really like the hot thing then at that time. Especially for business owners. And then in 2020, TikTok really took off. Prior to that, it definitely was like a kids dancing app. But when everybody was forced home, it blew up in an older demographic. And I say older, like 25 to 45, really older than it was. But at that point, I was just like using it and then like watching it and then realized pretty quickly, like, oh, this is probably where I want to be putting clients. And nowadays, I feel like I don't have to explain the benefit of TikTok as much as I used to. I think that a lot of business owners have really warmed up to the idea of being on TikTok as a business. But so yeah, that's kind of how that's how we got to this point.
I love that. And I mean, you specialize in helping particularly home service companies. Is that correct? How did you
Yeah.
get with there?
Yeah. So, in 2021, I was introduced to my first plumbing client. It was a referral from a friend. And luckily this person, this owner was like, I want to be on every platform. I want to be on TikTok. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, I want to put someone on TikTok. So they were my first TikTok client and my first trades client. And then, really I started getting more referrals in the trades, a lot of plumbing and HVAC companies. And this year, I just decided that that was going to be my main focus. And that's been really fun to just kind of like go all in on the trades. You guys know, because you work with a lot of home service companies, it's a fun industry to be in. So yeah, it was on accident.
I love that. Okay, so I'm really curious about this. So you have your first plumbing client, almost like 3 years ago. Man, I can't believe we're almost in 2024 now.
Right.
And okay, so take me through like what you even came up with to put on TikTok for a plumber versus like, and has it changed much with what you would do now? Like, what have you learned along the way versus what you started? I'm just curious how your mind even went, okay, I got this plumber, we're going to blow him up on TikTok.
Yeah. So what was really special is they had a team member who was already kind of trying to do TikTok videos for them. So they had somebody on the team that was like jumping in, like ready to do this. So that person just needed direction. So I just started, researching different things that they could do, talk about, and giving them this like playbook, and they just started getting content back to me, and then we would edit it and put it on. We at that point, I mean, not only has like our strategy has had to change because the algorithm changes, because the amount of people that are on there changes. So things are definitely a little bit different than then. One of the biggest things is like, it used to be a lot easier to go viral because there were a lot less people, and it was a lot easier to get followers because your content was getting in front of more people. Not to say that it can't happen, because it still can happen easier on TikTok than Facebook for sure, or Instagram. But we went viral probably within the first 2 to 3 months that we were working together. And so that was really fun. And I would say they were probably one of the first plumbers on TikTok, especially as a business, and they weren't so much showing technical things. They weren't like teaching other plumbers things, but they were creating content for their customer, like the homeowners. And so that was really different than what any other creator had probably been doing at that point. But yeah, we were doing like little easy, I think our first video that went viral was about not putting pasta in the garbage disposal, which I've since used something similar for other clients, and it tends to go viral every time, which is kind of funny because it's like basic, really basic information, but that's what we share, like it's like when you're in something, it's so easy and obvious, these little things that other people don't know, and so you can really blow people's minds with simple information.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, I want to watch that TikTok. I'm already intrigued. I can totally see that. You just have to, I mean, and I think that's why having someone like you is so beneficial. Nicole and I talk about this a lot because we both work for Jill's office, and we both kind of have our own businesses we own as well. And it's so much harder to like think creatively for your own business.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm a plumber. What the heck am I going to put on that's going to be viral or creative for anyone? And so having someone like you to consult with and help with to like come up with these ideas is phenomenal. Would you agree, Nicole?
Yeah, I think the best actual viral videos are the ones that are creative in a place you wouldn't think would be creative, like plumbing, because it does catch your attention where everyone else is doing all kind of a different version of the same thing. And then you see a plumber and you're like, wait a minute. And that's almost like a disruption in itself. Like, why is a plumber doing this? And why the heck am I still putting spaghetti down the drain? Because I am.
I'm still doing that. So I need to watch that video.
To pay attention. So
yeah, I think, and you really hit on something that even like people in social media struggle with, and it's like creating your own content. And I think one of the things that is the hardest thing to do, but it's actually really like easy, is you really can repeat yourself like over and over. And I think you're always trying to like reinvent the wheel. Like, okay, what should I talk about now? And it's like, no, go back to what ever. And like I said, I did an iteration of that video for multiple clients, and it still goes viral. It's not taking anything away. It's just that bit of information is clearly something that people need to hear. So like, we're going to say it again and again and again, like the topics that we talk about, we're talking about the same thing over and over and over, and just sharing it in different ways, because it's clearly like information that people want to know. It performs well every time that we do it. That means that we're helping people every time that we post it. And I think that when you struggle to like figure out what to post, it's probably because you get too far into your head about trying to be like overly creative or come up with like the very best thing ever. My mentor explains it like this, and this is really helpful. So she explains it in a hairdresser way. So she's like, if you were watching a hairdresser, would you want to watch them talk about like the different levels of tints that they could do to your highlights? Or would you want them to show you a tutorial of how to braid your hair? It's like the most basic things is where you want to be, because that's all that unless you're trying to teach other hairdressers, unless you're trying to teach other plumbers or HVAC people what to do, like you're trying to reach a layman's audience. So you want to teach them something that could get them a quick win, be super transformational in their life right then, and like would actually be interesting to them.
I love that. That's such a good way to explain it. But the hairdresser, it's a really good analogy. Because I'm thinking even with a plumber, I would love to see a whole series of all the things I shouldn't put in my drain. Like start with pasta and then it's like, oh crap, I do that. What does grease do? Just like go through all the things. And I think that would be fascinating. And then go to the toilet. Like what are best practices there?
Right.
That would be so interesting. And
it
I
seems
think
too
just dumb it
easy.
down. Yeah.
It's like, it's too easy. Like, no, that's where you want to go, like to the easiest thing. So that it's actually something that someone can use and apply to their life right then.
I love that. Talk for a minute about like, okay, so especially with TikTok, is it mostly just organic content that you're trying to help go viral? Do you do much with ads on there? What does that look like? I'm curious about that.
So our focus is TikTok. Okay. Our focus is really short form video because short form video performs well on every platform now. I like TikTok as an editing platform. There's a lot of trends that start on TikTok, whether it's sounds or just like overall trends like girl math or, like things that you hear more on other platforms, but it started on TikTok. So TikTok is like our main platform that we're creating for. But then we post those videos on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram, on Facebook. We do both organic and paid, but for home service companies, a lot of times people are looking on Google. And so we're not necessarily doing like if you need this now, you need a new roof, you're not going to go like search on TikTok about I need a new roof. You're going to go to Google. But what you can do is start to grow a following there, start to share information that could be helpful. You can use that content, like I said, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And when a piece of content is performing well on TikTok or on Facebook, we can put money behind it and get it in front of more people so that you can really start to reach your audience, your zip code. I mean, home service providers are working in very specific areas for the most part. And so we can then use ads to really target the exact people that you're looking for and use what's working organically to get the most out of the ads that we're running.
I love that. So basically TikTok's a great way to build brand awareness, find out what's going to go, crazy and what's going to go viral. And then you can use those ads when you actually are putting money to it. I think that's a great idea. It's good testing.
Yeah. And there is lead generation on TikTok. It's just, like right now, TikTok Shop is really big, especially for the holidays. Like, and personally, like I love when I see like the Amazon list of like things you don't know that you need from Amazon or whatever. I'm like, okay, wait, let me watch this. But again, it's just like when you're running ads for like a home service, like you have to be very disruptive, but also like you have to catch somebody at a time where this is what they're thinking of. And when they're scrolling on social media, they're not really thinking of it. And so there's kind of like that game that you're playing. If it's something really evergreen and it's a really great deal and you have a great way of sharing it through video, then you could definitely run lead generation ads with it, but it might not be the best way to spend your ad dollars.
That makes sense. What do you recommend as far as how frequently to post?
What's cool about TikTok is you can really post as much as you want. I guess I said that on the extreme side because like you want to post consistently. So the least amount that we post for clients is twice a week, which is really like not going to grow the account super fast unless we have a video that pops off, and it could. But when you post less, you have less data to work with. So like if you're just starting off, you can post a lot of different things and see what's catching people's attention. If you're, like you said, you work with people who do Christmas lights. If I did Christmas lights right now, I'd be posting every day, every single job that I do, because first of all, like that's a really cool before and after. We haven't talked a lot about like what kind of content to create, but anytime you're working in an industry where you can like show what something looks like before and after, and there's a lot of industries you can do that in, Christmas lights is a great one. Like show a maybe really short hyperlapse of somebody putting it together and then show the after. Like very cool every single time. Like I love Christmas light fight or whatever that show is, you know, and like it's because you like see the lights and you're like, oh my gosh. So so yeah, if I was doing that, I'd be posting every day, every single job that I do. My husband does mobile auto detailing. That's another really great like before and after. I tell him like you need to post every time you have a job, just before and after pictures or video or whatever. But if you're, you know, growing steadily and you're just looking to start building your brand online and building like standing out from your competition and the other people in your area, you can post a couple times a week to get started.
And people that are trying to do it on their own, I mean, do you usually recommend they get just like a specific, I mean, you got to almost get all your employees on board, right? Especially if you're going to do before and afters of every job. I mean, do you have any tips on how to get videos and content?
Yeah, seriously. Okay. So incentives, like incentivizing in general, there is probably one or two people on your team that's already like actively taking videos or pictures of things on the job because that's just the kind of person that they are. So if you can incentivize that person, that would be super helpful. You can bring in a photographer or videographer for 2 days and have them create a bunch of content that you can just like keep reusing. Especially if you work with someone like us, we can give them a shot list of all the things that we want, and then we can use that for like a year. You know, like you can just keep reusing stuff in different ways. My husband, he, like I said, he owns a mobile auto detailing business, and so he just has like a tripod that he sets up and just gets videos and pictures like as he's going, and it's just a habit that you have to get into to start getting the content.
I love that. What kind of incentives have you seen people do that are effective?
Like, one of my clients gives gift cards at the end of the month, and I don't know if they do like to the person who gets the most. They have one person on their team that always gets the most like pictures and videos. They'll get like selfies with different customers or on the job videos. And so yeah, I don't know if they're incentivizing everybody that gets them content or just like the person who gets the most. I feel like you would probably have to incentivize everybody just to get the most. And then like I've said it a couple of times, like you don't have to always have fresh content. Like people aren't paying that close of attention. You know, if you can do, if you have even like, if you're doing I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought, but you can reuse things over and over. If you have befores and afters, you can reuse them over and over. If you have video of somebody doing a certain, like cleaning the coils in the outside HVAC or even rinsing a vent or something like that, like you can just keep reposting it with different things. You can add text on the screen. You can do a voiceover. You can use it as a picture and use a CapCut template. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can reuse content. You don't have to do it every single day, every single time that you're out there.
I mean, even just like I think a lot of business owners do get overwhelmed and they don't know where to start, but it's true. If you just think about all the content you've had building and using pieces of video and pairing them with other still images, you can make them into videos using, you know, the software. I mean, different tools. If you have anyone's like CapCut, a lot of business owners might not know about that are helpful to make really easy videos out of just a couple images. And it does take time and a lot of mental, you know, willpower. So it does help. Am I breaking up? Sorry.
Just a little bit.
I don't know why I keep breaking up. But yeah, but having somebody that specializes in doing what you do is helpful because then you can just take another thing out of your head.
Yeah. And CapCut, if you're watching this and you're like, what do they keep saying? It's a free app and it's spelled CAPCUT, CapCut. And it's free. And there's a ton of templates. And you've probably seen the templates on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. And it makes it really easy to get content out there. And I've seen CapCut templates go mega viral. If you can come up with the right text on to put on the screen. So it's just a picture. You could even use a stock photo and then whatever, movie, person, image, video that CapCut has in there, and then make it a relatable statement. It's crazy. I'm not even joking. And another thing about viral videos is once you have a video that's gone viral, and viral can be viral for your account. So maybe, you have a new account and this video gets 10,000 views, repost the video in a couple weeks and see if it gets more views. Maybe even change the wording slightly and see if it gets more views. Don't be afraid to test things like that, especially if it's a video that's bringing in followers. Like sometimes you'll get a viral video, it'll bring in 1,000 followers. Sometimes you'll get a viral video, it'll bring in 0 followers. So if you can get one that's bringing in a bunch of followers, like repost that and see what it does that time.
I love that. And I mean, when I think about it, I don't know if people struggle, like, do they have to be funny? Like, do they have to be whatever? Like what advice do you give with that?
One thing I do is, and like, it's like, look at what everyone else is doing. And so I was even thinking about it yesterday, like I follow, they're kind of like meme accounts. Like one of them is called, I think it's called 30AF. And they're like relatable to people in their 30s, right? And so it's like everyone's saying the same thing. There is no reinventing the wheel. Like nobody ever creates a meme. Very rarely does somebody create a meme and it's like it's something you've never heard someone say before. And so you can literally take that and turn it into your own words and try that out, something that's relatable. Like it's the same, like we're talking about the same stuff over and over again. So whether it's a lot of times with trending sounds, I'll go through and see what everyone's take is on it, right? And that will help inspire me of like, oh yeah, okay, I could say it like this, or I could change that word to this word, and I don't mean like change is to was, like I mean change like they're talking about bathing suits and I'm talking about, I don't know. I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like I actually change it to something that makes sense for what you're saying. Don't steal it. Don't steal what someone else is doing, but like think about the things that memes are created about, the topics that memes are created about. Those are things that are super relatable on a broad scale. Like everyone's relating to it. And then how can you use that in your content? So no, you don't have to be super funny. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to learn how to do research and like make it work for your brand or your industry.
That makes sense. And we lost Nicole. Her internet was really struggling.
I know, I saw that.
She just kind of went away, but I'm sure she'll be watching wherever she is. I'm curious, like obviously I'm gonna tell everyone right now, follow Jen. I mean on Facebook, or I'm assuming you're on Instagram as well. I don't know if I'm following you on there, but
yeah. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah. Who else do you recommend people should follow to get ideas and see what's trending and all that?
Yeah. So I just said that 30, what is it called? Do you know which one I'm talking about? You might not be 30.
Oh, here she is. She's coming back. By the way, I loved that you got to meet Gary Vee. I saw that a couple months ago. That was so cool.
What is it?
Oh, that you got to meet Gary Vee, and
that was so cool.
That was so cool.
And I love Gary Vee, and he is a great marketer. He doesn't talk. He probably only like 20% of his content is about marketing. He's talking a lot about LinkedIn right now, and that it's an underutilized platform. Mm-hmm. But so for like trending content, I am 30AF is one I was just looking at yesterday, and there's a lot of different ones like that. That one's on Instagram. My mentor is what?
One of my favorite. 30AF is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that one's super funny. There's also ones about like the 90s and things like that. My mentor is Rachel Peterson. That's where I learned a lot of my TikTok content from at the beginning of my journey. And she's really focused on Instagram right now, but she has, I want to say a little under 3 million followers across all the platforms. And she teaches different social media platforms. So she's really good at that sort of thing. And she has a lot of free resources on how to do things. On my I have some free resources specifically for the trades on how to get started on TikTok and with video and things like that. I think it's in my links. I don't know. We're on Facebook right now. It's in my links, but and so other than that, I can't think of anything right offhand that I actively watch.
Yeah, just, I mean, do you recommend they follow others, I'm guessing in their industry too, that have
Yeah.
followings to see what's trending and what they're getting viral? And yeah.
Definitely. I think definitely. I'm in a group with like another 200 digital marketers, and like we'll tell each other like, I just did this and it went viral, try it. And so like we literally will just take someone else's idea and use it.
Love that.
Even there's a girl that if you use I can't think of what it's called, but there's this desktop thing that you can put in somebody's account and it'll tell you how many followers they've grown over the last 30 days. Because just because somebody has, 100,000 followers doesn't mean that they're actively gaining followers. So that they could have gotten those at any time. And now what their strategy that they used to use isn't working anymore. The algorithms changed. But anyways, this girl had gotten, I think, 80,000 followers in the last 30 days. So I was just like going back in her account of how she did it. And the video that she got most of those followers from was it was on Instagram, so it wasn't called a duet, but it was basically a duet where she had someone else's video that she kind of like just posted in her video about ChatGPT, and she gained 80,000 followers. So like one thing I've noticed right now on TikTok, especially, and we repost these on Facebook and have gotten millions of views with them, is just doing duets. So finding a video that's already like gone really viral and like just duetting that video. You'll see that happen sometimes with like oddly satisfying things where someone will have like a really oddly satisfying video, of like somebody making something, and then they'll post something else with it because people are watching that video that's like super interesting, so that's one way to like easily get views. And we've done it on Facebook, and like I said, multiple times, and gotten millions of views just from duetting another video.
That's a great idea. Are there any other like really cool apps like CapCut that you recommend too, that you find that are helpful?
So I just found out about this app yesterday. It's called, I'm looking, Opus. It is so cool. So it works really well if you have long form content. So if you have a podcast or like a thing like this where you're interviewing people, or if you have already created a bunch of longer videos, and you can give them to Opus. It's an AI tool, and it turns them into short form videos. You can tell them like the length that you want them, and it like they are so good. They even find like good hooks, and then they'll give you like, I did the free trial. It gave me like 15 different videos to choose from one of the podcasts that one of my clients had done. And I was like very satisfied with it. And it's not very expensive. It starts off at like there's a free version, there's a $20 version. Like I'm thoroughly impressed. And then today Descript actually released something really similar, probably because they were like, oh no. So there are definitely some really cool AI tools. I use ChatGPT regularly. I use it as a brainstorming tool. I don't ever copy and paste stuff off of ChatGPT because it's so obvious whenever it's written something, but it's a great brainstorming tool, especially when creating like ad copy or captions, or even like content ideas, things like that.
Those are some great tips. Yeah, I ran into Opus just like a couple of weeks ago, and I was blown away. It's really easy to learn too, is what I loved about it. It's just
It was like nothing. It was just like, give me the URL. I'm like, okay. And then it sent me all these videos. I was messaging my video editor. I'm like, why are we not using this? Like, this is awesome.
I think you bring up such a good point though with like AI, that it really, well, okay, there's some things like Opus that could shorten it, though you still got to pick out the best ones and then figure out how to repost it. So it is really good, especially with ChatGPT as a brainstorming. But I think that if you're not actually adding your own like personality into it, because that's what people connect with, is like as a person, and then the information you're sharing. I think that's where the secret sauce is.
Another way I use ChatGPT that could be really helpful for anyone watching this is to turn blog posts into content. And so like if you already have, again, long form content that's already written out, I'll tell ChatGPT, like, can you take this and turn it into a LinkedIn post and like highlight the bullets just as like their own thing or whatever, like give it a lot of direction, you know? But I'll use it as that. And that I usually get pretty good results with that, where it doesn't sound so like ChatGPT, it's like kind of ridiculous the way that it talks.
I feel like I can always tell if someone sent an email and only used it. It's something's missing. So
Well, yeah, and there's probably like a rocket emoji like in the very beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these are all super great tips, Jen. If people, okay, other than following you on social media, what are other great ways that people can learn more about Key Hart Marketing and what you could do for them and all that kind of jazz?
Yeah, so Key Hart Marketing, it's like here, but it's spelled KEEHART. So of course my website, on my website, you'll see that we have all these different ways that we work with people. My free resources are on there. We have a TikTok masterclass for the trades, which is like a like on your own type of thing where I teach like how to get started. I teach our 5-step viral framework in that. And then I also have a TikTok bootcamp that goes a lot more in depth. That's another like on your own course. We do done for you services, and tomorrow my my social media mentorship open. So I'm really excited. It's called Trades Trailblazers. It's a monthly mentorship for people in the trades and the home service industry that want to do their social media like in a really great way that's going to help them grow and scale their business, and they aren't ready to like pass it on to someone else. They're still doing it on their own, or maybe they already have a marketing team and they just want to kind of elevate the marketing team and what they're already doing on social. So like I said, it's a monthly mentorship. We do monthly trainings and monthly account audits and ask me anything. And then plus it's like a Facebook group that you can always ask questions in or get feedback for whatever it is that you're working on.
I absolutely love that you have like resources for every level of involvement that a business owner wants, from like, I'm a total DIYer, like to
yeah, exactly.
for you, and then everywhere along the way. That's genius. So very cool.
Exactly. And then of course, yeah, we work with clients. Most of what we do is like done for you, where we just kind of take over, and it's really collaborative because we like it to be an extension of the brands that we're working with. We're not doing like cookie cutter things. We're not using a ton of graphics. Like we want it to be your pictures and your people and your jobs and things like that. And then we just make sure that everything's posted consistently and manage the social media.
I love that. If someone does want to do that, basically it's like, hey, get us pictures, get us some videos, and then we take it all from there. Is that kind of what it looks like usually?
That's what it usually ends up being. A lot of the clients that we work with at some point have had a photo shoot, maybe when they went through their rebranding. So we're able to use a lot of that. Sometimes we've hired local photographers or videographers because we work with people nationally to come in. We'll give them a shot list of things that we need and get a bunch of content that way. We can also come out and get all of the content. It's a 2-day process where we get, like I said, like we could use the content for the next 6 to 12 months. Like sometimes our clients are able to get us content, especially if there's something fun or trending that we're like, hey, like one of our clients did the ghost trend. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that, but it was like on TikTok, like take a ghost photo shoot with your friends or whatever. And it was so fun, like so cute. They had their ghost and they like put the dog and the ghost thing. It was really cute. So sometimes we'll get stuff like that. And then sometimes they're just really busy and we just work with what we have.
I love it. Well, amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing today. Sorry,
No,
Nicole,
thanks
do you
for
have
having
anything
me.
else? I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's awesome. I just don't want to like start breaking up again.
We're glad you made it back on. And thank you for all the resources you shared. We'll be sure to link your website in the notes here. And thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, it should be done with the live. That was awesome. I love your energy when you shared. Like you just do such a good job just pouring like value and energy and making it sound very doable and fun.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, I want people to succeed on social media. Like,
you can
oh
feel
no,
that.
I lost
You
you
can
guys.
feel
Is
your
it me?
passion. So that's very cool. Do you work, because I know you do a lot with Service Titan.
Are you
Do you
there?
work with other CRMs too, or do you mostly work
Oh,
with
there you
them?
are.
Oh,
Why is my internet messing up? Are you there?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I have Google Fiber. My internet has been so consistent since I've gotten Google Fiber. So I'm like, this should not be